Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm going to continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're going to give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
Okay, what's up, sports fans, basketball fans, sports fans in general? This is AW Hero Warrior, presenting to you my lane, the SmackDown Wrestling Sports Channel. This is a channel for all your sports and wrestling related content. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, right? If you enjoy sports and wrestling, this is a channel for you. Also, make sure to smash the like button down below, please. Also, share this out on all social media platforms or just word of mouth, whatever. Work, family, friends, whatever. Wherever you can be able to share this channel out for people that are interested in sports and wrestling. And thank you for all that. And thank you for listening for my little video, my little stream on Damian Lillard. Thank you for all coming in into the chat or just watching it on the replay, whatever. Thank you. Thank you all for listening to my AEW Collision review yesterday. But today we're going to talk basketball. You know, the sport where you put the object of the game is to put the ball into the net. That's what we're going to talk about. Again, basketball. Now we're not going to talk about off-season stuff like free agency trades, all this off-season drama. We're not going to talk about Damian Lillard here, or what's up with James Harden, or what's up with KD. Why is he so thin-skinned? Can't grow a backbone. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about something that the NBA and NBAPA have agreed upon going forward during the NBA season, okay? And yes, my title just says it all. NBA in-season tournament revealed. So we got the details of this in-season tournament that's gonna be taking place between November and December of this year, starting this year. This is something the NBA has been throwing around for some time, and when the NBA and NBAPA, the Players Association, the union, agreed onto a new deal for next seasons and so on. I don't know how long. I don't know how long this deal they agreed upon. I think it's 7 years. It might be 6 or 7 years to 2030. I think so. Okay. They've been talking about, one of the things they have been talking about is actually an in-season tournament. And, well, starting next season, we're going to get our first NBA in-season tournament. And it's the first North American major sport, football, baseball, and hockey, to do an in-season tournament. It's not a normal North American thing. It's more of a European kind of thing or other countries kind of thing. You obviously in soccer in Europe and stuff or whatever, soccer, each country has their own league, but during this year sometimes they do a tournament with the best teams from each league facing each other. So from like the English Premier League will face will be in a league with the French teams. You know what I mean? Cross promotion basically. Well, this is a little different because this is only NBA teams, and so NBA teams are not going to be facing against teams from Europe or Asia. Okay, they're not going to be involved in the tournament, but you get the idea. The tournament style. And so I have the article right here, okay? And how this works, every team participates. Every team in the NBA participates in this tournament. Okay? Every team. And they go by pools. Hello, Anthony. and they go by pools, right? Group pools. So groups. So there's 2 conferences: the Eastern and Western Conference, right? Right? And there's 3 groups: Group A, B, C, in each conference. Okay. So how it goes is by draw. What I mean by they do the draw, like lottery or ping pong ball, stuff like that. That kind of thing. That's how they determine what pool. I heard that. Congrats. Yes, it is similar to soccer, and it determines what they do is they draw out the teams for each respective pool. Like they do the World Cup. You know how they do the World. You know when they do the World Cup for soccer, right? Determining what groups the countries are in. That's how they do it. They're doing it for this, similar to that. So for this, they're doing that with 3 groups: A, B, and C in each conference, West and East. So the tournament, the groups, the teams are settled for this upcoming season. Next season is not going to be the same teams in the same group. There's going to be a mix. They're going to change it up the next season, right? So, for example, I'll go over the groups. Group A in the East. Group A East, okay? Philadelphia, Cleveland, Atlanta, Indiana, and Detroit. Okay, that's Group A for the East. Next year, after next season, not the season coming up, the second tournament, Group A will have different teams. So if you get the idea, right? It's not gonna be like divisions or divisions are set, right? Divisions are set. Divisions are usually the same every year. They do change it over the course of time, obviously, they do. But this is gonna be changed every year. No. So Group A, I just mentioned Group A is in East. Group B is going to be Boston, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, and Orlando. No, that's not Group B. That's Group C. My mistake. Yeah. So Group B is Milwaukee, New York, Miami, Washington, and Charlotte. Group C is Boston, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, and Orlando for the East. C. That's the East. Now the Western Conference, Group A is Memphis, Phoenix, Los Angeles Lakers, Utah, and Portland. The Jazz are in it, yes. Okay. Group B in the West is Denver, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Denver, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Dallas, and Houston. That's Group B in the West. Group C is Sacramento, Golden State, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and San Antonio Spurs. That's Group C in the West. Okay? And like I said, next year, these groups are going to have different teams. It's not going to be the same teams in each group next season. I mean, the season, not this upcoming season, the season 2024/2025 season, it's going to be different teams in different groups, like soccer, like how they do for soccer, how they draw for soccer, and world tournaments and sports. Okay, so how this goes: group play will begin on November 3rd. So right away, basically at the beginning of the season, November 3rd. All games will count towards a regular season records and statistics. Okay, so technically they do count for the regular season. Each team will play 4 group games. 2 home games and 2 road games. Okay, so you'll play your opponent twice on the road and twice at home, basically. But they're only going to be but they're going to be only played on Tuesdays and Fridays in November. So you play the teams in your group only on Tuesdays and Fridays in November. Not Monday, not Wednesday, not Saturday, not Thursday, not Sunday. Tuesdays and Fridays only. Okay? Except November 7th, which is election day, and no games will be held. So November 7th this year in America, election day, November 7th. It's not for the presidency, but it's obviously who's going to run for presidency, right? There's no games that day. And the group play schedule will be released next month. The season schedule we'll get the group play schedule and the season schedule released next month, obviously in August, along with national TV broadcast. Okay. So how is the standings and how is the playoff format or the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, whatever, how do you get in the tournament? How is that settled? How is that determined? So we're gonna get to that. The team with the best record in each group and 2 wildcard teams will advance to the knockout stage. So the best teams in each group, the 6 groups, the number 1 team will advance. Right? The 2 wildcard teams, I assume, will be the second and third best. Wait, let me see. No, so 2 wildcard teams will not be the second and third best team in each group. It would be the teams behind the top teams in the group. Whoever has the best record between those teams will be the wildcard team. So if I'm gonna look at this thing again. So I'm gonna go. Say that Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Boston, Memphis, Denver, and Sacramento are number 1 in their group. They go to the stage. But Cleveland, Atlanta, Indiana, Detroit, New York, Miami, Washington, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, Orlando. Okay. All those teams I mentioned there. Only two of those teams could advance. So the teams behind the top teams in the conference, in the pool, only 2 of those teams. So it's not like the second and third team in each group C, B, and A automatically don't go to the knockout stage. Whoever, if you get my point, it's like baseball with the wild card. If you know how the wild card works in baseball, it's like that. Okay. The wild cards will be the team in each conference that finished with the best record in group play, but it is second in its own group. Yeah, basically, yeah. A knockout round consists of single elimination quarterfinals. So they're not playing a series here, okay? This is one game, do or die. They're not playing a series here. They're not because we're still gonna have playoffs and we're gonna have a championship. We don't want to play we don't want to play a 90-game season. Right? We don't want to play a 90-game season. So knockout round consists of single elimination. Quarterfinals will be on December 4th and December 5th of this year. The semifinals and championship semifinals and the championship will be held at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on December 7th and December 9th. So what I'm saying here is the quarterfinals are going to be held in your respective home or wherever arena, stadium, whoever has a higher seed. But the semi and finals, the tournament finals, will be held in Vegas on December 7th and 9th. Okay? Semifinals will be December 7th and the finals will be the 9th. And like I said, it's a 1-game elimination. Right? No best 2 out of 3, no 3 out of 5, no 4 out of 7. 1 game, like football. Basically like a football format. Do or die, 1 game. Okay. The championship game is the only game that will not count towards the regular season record statistics. So the championship game will not count for the championship game only will not count for the regular season. It's just so it doesn't affect anything there. If you score 30 points in the championship game, your point per average is not going to go up in the regular season. If you have 10 wins in the regular season by then, if you win the championship game, it's not going to count towards the 11th win. Nullified. If you get that, okay? Okay. And also for the 2 teams, for the two teams, it will count as game 83 more than every other team's on the 82 game slate. Okay. Oh man, I gotta go back to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I'll be right back up. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I really had to go. I'm sorry. Where was I? Okay. The teams that do not advance to a knockout round, so teams are eliminated and don't get to the basically to the quarter, semis, and finals. Those teams that get knocked out will play 2 additional games on December 6th and 8th to fill out their 82 game schedule. The teams that lose in the quarterfinals of the knockout round will play one additional regular season game on December 8th. A prize pool will be allocated to teams advancing into the knockout round, and the championship earns an NBA Cup trophy. Okay, yeah, there's prize pools. Obviously, that's what they're doing. This to you get money if you win, and MVP of the in-season tournament will be named along with an all-tournament team based on performance throughout the group in knockout rounds. So let's look at the prize pool. What do the players get in the prize pool? Okay. The prize pool, the prize money for each player, 500,000. Okay. Let me see what the prize pool is. I know what it is. Let me see how much. What's the prize pool? What? It's 500,000, right? I know. I'm pretty sure it's 500,000. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's see. Athletic. Okay. In-season tournament prize money. Okay, here we go. Win championship. If you win the championship of the tournament, each player on that team gets $500,000. Okay, $500,000. So yeah, every player who wins a every player on that team gets 500 grand if they win the championship. Reach the final game. If you reach the final game, even if you lose the final game, you still get $200,000 for each player. If you reach the semifinal game, right, each player gets $100,000. Okay, $100,000. You reach the quarterfinal game, you get $50,000 per player. So once again, you win a championship. Every player in that championship team gets $500,000. Okay, 500K. If you reach the final game, you reach the finals. Each player on both teams get 200,000. Okay, 200,000. But even if you lose, if you reach the semifinals games, so 4 teams and each player on those 4 teams will get 100,000. 100,000. If you reach the quarterfinal games, which is I guess is 8 teams, you get 50,000. Each player on that team gets 50,000. Okay. That's pretty much, I guess, it. I know there's a lot of people who don't really want a tournament. Like, there's a lot of fans who don't really want this tournament to happen because they find it really ridiculous. Like, why do we need a tournament? Is winning a trophy in a tournament really important compared to winning the NBA trophy, the NBA Finals, like championship? Like, I'm sorry, it's just that obviously you get incentives if you make the tournament finals, right? Right? If you make the tournaments, you get incentives with the player money. But like, is this a way to get fans? They say they're doing it for the fans, get the fans invested. I will watch because this does during the regular season. I definitely will watch the finals, semifinals in Vegas. I secretly think this is a test one for Las Vegas as a basketball market in the future. We know football and hockey is in Las Vegas. We know Oakland, the A's, are going to move to Vegas in a couple of years. I personally think, and we know Summer League is being run in Vegas, right? So I really think this is a test one, a professional, actual basketball team in Vegas. Because let's remember, the NBA has not expanded since they introduced the Bobcats, Charlotte Bobcats, aka Hornets, because the Hornets, if you remember, original Hornets moved to New Orleans to become the Pelicans, and then, right, whatever. I think so. Or New Orleans Hornets, whatever. I'm pretty sure Charlotte moved to New Orleans, and then Charlotte didn't have a team for a while, and then they had to bring the Bobcats into the NBA, and the Bobcats became the Hornets again. And so they haven't expanded for 20 years. Football has not expanded for 20 years either. Baseball has not expanded for 26 years. but hockey has. But I think this is a test for Vegas as a potential basketball city because all the other 3 North American sports are in Vegas or, in case of baseball, moving to Vegas, right? I think it's because don't be surprised in the next 5 to 10 years, we have a basketball team in Las Vegas. And I think this is a test one for this because we know Summer League is being run right there. Summer League has always been ran in Vegas. Always. Okay. I've been a mention boards on VLGM. A lot of people are like, why are they doing this? It's extra money, man. I know basketball players are making lots of money. You see the ridiculous contracts they're getting, but you know what? 500,000, 200,000, and some players, like the 14, 15, 16 player on the roster, 500,000 is a lot for them. If you really think about it, if you're a two-way player, someone who bounce around between the G League and not the G League, and you're a 14, 15 man, 500,000, 200 to $500,000, 500 is a lot. It's a lot. You got to realize, and sports, yeah, most of them are millionaires, but they're not. Some fringe players that can, right? 500,000 is a lot. Obviously, 500. Most of the players in the NBA, 500,000 is nothing. But there's some players in each sport that for 500,000 is a lot. I'm sorry, I just laughed at something on Twitter. I'm just laughing. I don't know what else to say. Oh yeah, my thoughts. Is it good or bad? A lot of people are just like I said, like so many times already. A lot of people are like cresting and saying this is weird. Why are they doing this? You know what? You know what's gonna be fun about this? You know what might be fun about this? There could be upsets. Okay? And we'll see. Because especially in the rest, if you notice in the rest, there was a lot of parity in the rest this season. And I don't know what that means for next season, right? Maybe Phoenix with the Bradley Beal deal, Phoenix might have cemented itself as cream of the crop. I don't know. But you never know. There might be upsets in this tournament. And you know what? What do sports fans love besides cheering for their team? They love the underdog and they love upsets in sports, right? They love that. I love it. I love when teams upset or the underdog wins. Okay? But when it's not my team, let's get that straight. When it's not my team. And I'm sure it's the same with you guys. You don't want your right? I'm sure it's the same with you. And this can happen. One game. All it takes is one game. One game. And look at NBA college, NCAA. Look at NCAA college basketball, March Madness. For the past few years, there's been a bunch of upsets. Right? And let me tell you, in professional sports, yeah, there's always really, really good teams, always really bad teams. But it's not like it's not like college football or some just college basketball where there's really the dominant teams always win. Always win. Okay? Always win. If you look at football, the dominant teams always win. The best teams always win college football. Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, whatever, Michigan. They're always undefeated in the season or close to be undefeated. Professional sports is not like that. All it takes is one team. It could take Charlotte to upset a team. It could take Orlando. It could take freaking Washington to upset a team in this tournament. You never know. You never know. And sometimes, and the thing about this, sometimes when teams make these major moves in the offseason, you know it takes time for these teams with the new pieces they acquire. It takes time for these teams to gel, right? They get accumulated or acclimated, whatever. I think it's acclimated. That accumulated is not the word, acclimated into the system with system and style system the team wants to play, what kind of defense, what kind of offense they want to play with the coaching, playing with your teammates, your new teammates, basically. It takes time, right? It takes time to build up team chemistry and team building and to play, right? And happens a lot of basketball with especially these big three stuff, especially when these teams try to be super teams. It's usually like a lot of teams that are been attacked for some time and just add one or two more players. They don't have that same kind of trouble. So you never know. There might be some teams that you think that should dominate these teams. You never know. They might not be. They might not. They're not used to each other. They might not used to each other yet. Sometimes in sports, hard work and consistency outworks skill. And that might be the case. There might be the case here, guys. You never know. It's, in my opinion, my overall thoughts. I'm gonna give it a watch. Obviously, I'm gonna and see it firsthand with my eyes, and not gonna judge it by a book by its cover. You never know. It might be fun and good basketball. You never know. I'm telling you. It might be here for a stay for some time. And basketball, there's only one other sport that could do this, and that's hockey. Hockey could do this. Basketball could, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of a short stream, I guess. Right now, like, yeah, like, I'm just saying, I think this has a chance for upsets. I think there's gonna be upsets, right? And everybody loves upsets. There's gonna be some feisty teams in there. I mean, it's just the obvious choices, right? Like Boston, Milwaukee, Lakers, Golden State, Phoenix, Denver. You always get pick the obvious choices. But I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Oklahoma does really well, or somebody like New York, or hell, Indiana. Like, don't be shocked if it's one of these teams that barely made the playoffs or got better in the offseason. Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous crazy, man. You never know. This could happen. Oh, you know what? This might be another factor in. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. If the star players can sit out, then you know they're not taking it seriously. And then if that's the case, get rid of the tournament the season after. There's no point in having a tournament the season after. If that's the case. If the star players sit out this. She says, "Oh, I'm gonna rest." No. If they do that, then don't even bother with the tournament the year after. Okay? And because the NBA would want the star players to participate in this tournament, right? They don't want them to sit out. They want them to participate in the tournament. You can't grow a league without the star players not playing. Cry. And the biggest star power in drawing outside of basketball is LeBron James, right? LeBron James has the biggest star power, arguably of any athlete in North America. Okay? So they can't afford to have LeBron James is bigger than just a game of basketball. You're right. Yeah, you're right. But they could get injured during a regular season game, right? Regular season game. So it really doesn't matter. The thing is, they don't get paid. Well, actually, they do. We'll see. We'll see how the star players, if they take this tournament seriously. But I can tell you one thing: scrubs on that team, they want the $500,000. They want the $500,000, and you're gonna make sure the star players play because they want the $500,000. The star players don't need an extra $500,000. Let's be honest; they do not need 200, 500 extra thousand. They got their 30 to 50, 60 million dollars. But the scrubs, the one are barely on the team, the two-way players contracts, two-way player contract, they might need the money, the 500,000. Okay, so they want the star players to play. It gives them a better chance to win. It gives them a better chance to get that 500,000 prize money. Okay, and if they do sit out the star players, I will whip on the star players for that, for not thinking about the teammates that need the kind of money. The ones that are struggling, that are fighting for a position in the NBA. Because every player in the NBA, I know they have to look out for themselves, but they should look out for each other, and that's the point of a union. Now, like, obviously, Kyle Leonard's probably going to sit out. We know that. Kyle Leonard's going to sit out. But yeah. We just know Kawhi's going to sit out. That's a fact. Now, what am I going to do now? I don't know. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. This is a short stream. Pretty good stream. 40 minutes. Do me for a like, share, subscribe, comment below. I don't know what my next stream is going to be on. I mean, I'm doing wrestling stream tomorrow, but I don't know what my next non-wrestling stream is going to be about. I'll figure something. We're going to get closer to NFL stuff. We'll talk about NFL later on. As next month is NFL. Thank you, George. That's what I'm saying. As next month we get to the NFL preseason. And in September's NFL, we'll talk some football. We'll talk some basketball, and we'll talk some baseball too. Not much hockey, really. I do want to talk about like Aaron Rodgers in New York. But yeah. Kawhi Leonard's gonna be playing. Kawhi Leonard's gonna be start packing your bags for China. I'm sorry. But yeah, do it for Lakers. Subscribe, comment below. If something comes up, if something big comes up, yeah, we'll talk about it. James Harden gets traded. Maybe we'll talk about that. Do some stuff. All right. I'm gonna go watch the MLB draft. Even though it's not really a important kind of draft because these players you don't see for 2 or 3 years in the majors. But whatever. I have nothing else to watch. So yeah, take care, guys. Maybe I'll see you later. Take care.